Tell us when, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I state your name.
I,
Jason Jarrett,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly
swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of this committee.
of this committee. So help me God.
Go ahead. Everybody go.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. You got a hat, you got 3 legs.
I'd like to call to order the first regular meeting of the Village of Villa Park Zoning Board of Appeals. With that call to order, I would like to do, I think we have to do the roll call first. So let's take care of the roll call. Will you call the names off? Would you call the names off, or shall I? It doesn't matter. I can do it. Wanda Ackerman,
Yes.
Vicky Flaskamp,
Yes.
Troy Clampett,
Yep.
Richard Gonzalez,
Here.
Jason Jarrett,
Here.
and Deborah Kane.
Here.
Okay, with that number of 7 present, we have a quorum. So we'll proceed. We're going to proceed to the approval of the last meeting minutes, and then prepare, if you're going to speak, prepare to come up and be sworn. We'll do it in a group with everyone all at once so that we don't have to repeat it later, okay? The next item is the approval of the meeting minutes from August 14th. Are there any corrections or amendments to it? If everyone had a chance to review them. I was fortunate enough to attend the meeting myself in person, so do I have a motion to approve the meetings of the last minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second? Okay. It's been moved and seconded that the minutes be approved. For all those in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So the motion carries, and the meeting minutes for August 14th have been approved. At this time, we would like any members of the audience who will be speaking on any of the zoning approvals tonight to come up. We'll just do it in a mass group. Or stand in place. Okay, that's fine. You can just stand up. All right. And then, thank you. Do we need anyone else who will speak on anything also besides anyone who plans on speaking at all? You can change your mind and not speak, so that's a good part, right? Yeah, yes, exactly. Thank you, sir. Do you swear to speak truthfully and honestly during these committee sessions? I do that. Right? Thank you very much. All right. Okay. So we've approved the meeting minutes. We've sworn everyone. Do we have any public hearing of old business? I see none on the agenda, but in case anything was missed. No? Okay. We will move to public hearing of new business. We have 4 agenda items tonight. And we have 3 variations, and we have 1 special use. The first hearing of new business is ZBA-25-01 for the property addressed as 580 East Harrison Street, and this is for variation. I believe, I think you'll speak on reviewing this at this time, Michelle?
Before we jump into the first case of the evening, since this is a new commission, I wanted to go over a little bit of Zoning Board of Appeals basics just for our review tonight to help guide the commissioners in their review of these cases. So just to start off, we are going to be following the Open Meetings Act, so any agenda for any commission meeting needs to be posted at least 48 hours in advance of the meeting at the place of the meeting. So on Monday, prior to 6 p.m., an agenda was posted downstairs in Village Hall for this meeting, also posted online with all of the commission staff reports for these cases on tonight's agenda. Only items that show up on an agenda may be voted on by the commission at a meeting, and a meeting is considered any gathering where a majority of a quorum and public business is discussed a meeting. So that means that 3 members of this commission can't meet to discuss any public business together if there was an agenda posted 48 hours in advance of that meeting. Any conversations about an agenda item has to be limited to one-on-one basis, and that's in all forms of communication, phone, emails, anything of that nature. At least 4 members do have to be present to be able to hold a meeting. So it's important that if you are not going to be able to attend a meeting in the future, to please let Mr. Payne and I know. That way we can make sure that we post a cancellation notice, both here and then online, so that we can let our applicants know that their case would have to be continued to a future meeting. So the Zoning Board of Appeals will conduct review of special uses, variations, amendments to the village's zoning ordinance or text amendments, and zoning map amendments, which would be like rezoning applications, planned unit development review, and then appeals of decisions by the Director of Community and Economic Development. So for these hearing procedures, applications are submitted to staff. Staff does a review and works with the applicants to get these cases ready for your review tonight. A public notice needs to be posted in a newspaper of regular circulation at least 15 days in advance of a meeting. With that newspaper posting, we also mail letters to residents within 250 feet of the subject location, and then also post a sign on the property with our number, and the application is available for any resident or member of the public to come in and review at any time. Staff and the petitioner will usually be present to make that presentation to you about their request. Board members are available or able to ask any questions on that application and deliberate in this open session regarding decisions on that application. If appropriate, the Zoning Board of Appeals would make a motion with a second to approve, deny, or continue the case. Motions should all be made in the affirmative. That does not mean that if you make a motion and second that you have to vote for the case. You can vote nay to deny, but all motions should be made in the affirmative. You don't want to make a motion to deny. The Zoning Board of Appeals findings of fact should be established detailing the reason for that recommendation to the village board for their consideration. And then obviously that recommendation would be passed on to the village board for their review. So moving on, there are standards of approval that we will be considering all of these cases against. So to start with a special use, in the zoning ordinance, there is a use table that shows what uses are permitted, identified as a special use, or not allowed in each zoning district within the village. The purpose of special uses is to allow for uses that may require special regulations or have unique circumstances to still be permitted within a zoning district, but may allow for conditions to be placed on that approval for consideration to make it work harmoniously with the area. Standards of approval for a special use, all 6 would need to be met for approval. Those are things like it's authorized as a special use in the zoning code, it's necessary or desirable in the interest of the public, it's not detrimental to the health, safety, or welfare of the area, it doesn't impede normal or orderly development of the property in that district. The use would be served by adequate facilities, infrastructure, and services, and then it complies with all other regulations of the zoning ordinance. Moving on to variations, those are things such as practical difficulties or hardships in carrying out the strict requirements of the zoning ordinance, and the plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances. So we'll be reviewing 3 variations tonight. Those can be things that are requested such as setbacks, height requirements, parking space variations, lot size, things of that nature. Uses cannot be considered for a variation, so that we just talked about. And then things to consider for a variation are that they're in harmony with the general purpose of the zoning ordinance, they address practical difficulties or hardship of their situation, that the property couldn't yield a reasonable return if they were only following the zoning ordinance requirements, that the plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances, and that if granted, it wouldn't change the character of the neighborhood. Moving on to text and map amendments. Text amendments can add, delete, or alter language found in the zoning ordinance. Those standards of approval are that they align with the comprehensive plan, correct an error or inconsistency, they meet the challenge of challenging conditions, or is necessary to implement established village policy or change in village policy. Map amendments can reclassify properties or multiple properties into different zoning districts. The standards of approval for a map amendment are that they consider the existing use and surrounding zoning of that property, how zoning restrictions would affect property values in the area, has the property been vacant, the value to the community, and the goals of the comprehensive plan. For both text amendments and map amendments, only one standard of approval has to be met for the commission to consider whether an amendment should be granted, unlike variations that we previously discussed. Planned unit developments are also reviewed by this commission. This is a very brief overview of the Zoning Board of Appeals, so we'll go over those more in depth at a hopeful future training session. But those have additional analysis, more similar to special use applications, but again, we don't have any special use applications before us tonight. Staff's hope is that we do a more lengthy training session with all of you and let you ask additional questions, but just wanted to start there for tonight as a brief foray into the Zoning Board of Appeals. So with that, we'll get started on our first case of tonight.
Could I make one quick comment to Chairwood?
Yeah. Yes.
So the May meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission is on YouTube. That was a training session that was approximately 2 hours. Some of that may not be relevant, but the vast majority of it would be relevant to what we're doing up here. So I would recommend taking the time to watch that if you can.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. I have watched that entire video, so yeah, I would recommend it. And we were discussing, if possible, if we could do that training before our next meeting would be great, but we'll see if it works out for us. I know we discussed that.
I believe it was May 8th, but it was
May 8th.
May of this year.
And I can help with that. Okay. Yep. And if anyone needs summarizations, I've completed summaries of that session, so I can give it to you and you could approve it.
Sure.
Just to help us understand. All right? Okay. Thank you. Anything? Okay. So what will happen is I'll call the first, I'm saying case, but the appeal to come up. Then the staff will help review it. Then the petitioner can comment. Any public comments and any board commission comments and questions. You could address those to the chair.
Yeah, so I can get started on our first case. It's for 580 East Harrison Street. The petitioner is requesting a variation from section 2.5.2 for the attached garage design. Like the chairman said, we'll go through the review of the application. There'll be time for comments by the petitioner and questions and comments from the board. So the petitioner would like to build a new garage in front of the existing attached garage while converting the old garage into living space. The house is currently facing an unimproved right-of-way to the south. The home is accessed by an L-shaped driveway to the east. This right-of-way is unlikely to be improved due to existing water main in the right-of-way. The proposed garage would have an interior side setback of 6.2 feet and a front setback of 76.4 feet, and both of those are in compliance with the bulk regulations for the RS10 district. The petitioner is seeking a variation from section 2.5.2, attached garage design, in order to permit a garage that would be closer to the street lot line than the front of the house. If you take a look at this site plan, you can see this blue area here is the driveway. This pink area here would be the garage. Down here is our right-of-way, Harrison Street. But as you can tell from this photo here, that's an unimproved right-of-way. So it's all grass right now, and is unlikely to ever be improved. So these are the standards for the variation review. We'll have a public hearing if people have comments, and then we've also got a sample motion if appropriate.
Okay. All right, thank you. Do we have any comments? Oh, no, do we have any comments from the petitioner? Is the petitioner present? All right, great. Can you approach the podium? Thank you, sir. State your name and, of course, the address. I know it's the same.
John Tomczewski, 580 East Harrison Street, Villa Park. Yeah, and actually in that diagram it's a little misleading. It shows East Harrison on my driveway. Google doesn't get it right, but basically, yeah, it's with the situation and also to put the garage anywhere else, I wouldn't be able to have any conformance. My house was built in 1956. It's on original virgin land, you know, it's 3/4 of an acre. I've been there since 1990, so I've been there for quite some time. And yeah, and with this, I fully understand the purpose of the variance, and I understand completely, because if you have a garage that's off shooting out in front, and then you have your neighbor to the left or right, you know, it inhibits them seeing the street. I fully agree. I fully agree. That's safety. It mentions safety, how it looks, and so forth.
Right.
But in my case, actually, you can't quite tell here. We're looking north. To the west of me, where you see the trees, I have actually 3 properties that line that. They're backyards. And in my front yard, which you really can't really see, there's one car that's on the driveway. There's a 6-foot fence. There's already been changes to the ordinance. So my front yard has 6-foot privacy fence that runs right along it. And it makes complete sense. I fully agree, because it's their backyards. But just by chance, it's my front yard. And then also with the width of the lot is, 100 feet, which is, pretty deep and so forth. So in regards to another aspect I wanted to bring up too was my house is actually 20 feet behind the lot line of the house you see to the east of me.
Right.
They put up 2 new homes. They did a tear down and they put 2 homes on that property. And with regards to that, even with my garage being put up, it's going to be 25.8. The garage will only be 5 feet out in front of those homes. So if someone's out in front, they would have to actually look all the way west and see 5 feet of the property line. So in terms of security or any aspects of that, there actually isn't any street to see, first of all, because of the south. And then on top of it, the aesthetics actually would look very nice in my situation here, because they went, they were up so far, this will actually make it balanced out in that regards too.
Right.
But unless there were any other specific questions.
And that's attached to the house? The purple box is the new garage, and it's attached to the front of your home, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it will remain attached as well. Yeah, to put a garage to the east it just would not work because the grades and so forth and structurally in the house, it doesn't make any sense. Because it would go into a bedroom and, yeah.
Right.
Where it's at, I have all the designs here. It's going to work absolutely perfect in terms of, I'm adding another bedroom, another bathroom, and the walkway will actually continue where the garage is now, and then I'll be able to walk south and continue on
Into the home.
into the home. And I'm going to have a nice door on facing the east side. It's going to be identical to the front door. I have a very nice front door on the front, so it's going to be matching. I have all stone facade right now, and I'm going to keep that too. It's not vinyl siding or anything.
Is the garage door on the east side or the west side? What side is the garage?
South.
Oh, it is on the south side, so
Yeah.
it goes this way. You
So-
turn in, turn right, and you go right into it.
Right.
Okay.
So
I was just getting orientation, doesn't matter that
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it's hard to tell there, but yeah. So actually, technically, the garage doors don't face the street.
Okay.
Because the street's actually to the east.
Right. Okay. Is that?
Yeah.
Sure,
that was
great.
fine.
I think at this time I can take questions from the public, if you're done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. John, are there any questions from the public regarding this property on 580 East Harrison Street? Any questions from the commissioners?
I've got one.
Yes, go ahead, sir. Troy?
You said the properties to the west of you have 6-foot fences, like that's the property to the southwest of you as well?
Well, yeah, southwest.
So, ba-
I have pictures here if you want to see it.
Please,
If I could,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely.
how many car garage is that?
I currently have a 2-car garage. This is going to be a 3-car. Actually, inside.
So it's coming in front of this garage.
that-
That's where you're moving it to?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to,
Move it up. And here's Harrison.
that's correct. Do I have another picture?
That's a nice picture, okay. I
I had
understand.
a better picture. Well, here if you want.
And you say it's gonna come out 5 feet from that 6-foot fence?
Where's my orientation?
Here's the privacy fence right here.
Okay, so that's the southwest property line.
Yeah, that's the southwest. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you say then the garage is gonna extend within 5 feet of this fence?
5 feet of that fence?
Yeah.
No, not, well, it's more than 5 feet, 6.
Yeah, the garage will be set back, I believe it was 6.2? Yeah, 6.2 feet from the west property line.
Oh, it is 6 foot, at least 6 foot?
Yeah, it's within, everything's within the work.
That's what I was just, I heard 5 foot.
No, I'm not.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, the requirement is at least 5 feet, so he's meeting that
the
with
top
this
of the-
6.
Okay, that's, I just
Is that his current?
checking on
Right,
that.
that's the fence he's referring to.
And currently you have a
The
one,
white is
the
the
whole entire
house.
house is a one-story house?
And then the rest is new.
Yeah, I don't want to go
Where
up,
is his
getting
old
old too, so.
Which is now going
His
It's the
ranch.
front, right, he's
Yeah,
gonna make it
once-
part of the
yeah,
house.
if you want to see more.
Let me ask you, did you print this yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to be speaking so everybody can hear. There's a lot of crosstalk and
Right, okay, thank you. And we are addressing, just in case folks want to know, we're just saying what's on the screen. That the pink is the garage that we're looking at, and then the rest of the home is the white.
Offset.
So that's the
front
sidebar.
of the
Here are some
homes are-
photographs
The properties are
of
right
that
there.
same
I'm like
drawing.
trying to take a picture to the east. So, in terms of showing the 20-foot offset,
Okay, and
it'll, like I said, it'll be about 5 feet out.
Now, your house is this one, right? It's the ranch.
Yes.
Oh, he's coming
No,
out over here.
I was
Yeah,
trying to
it's
give a
weird.
perspective. Here's the
Yeah, they
front
come
of
out.
their
The
property.
only real question to me is actually the house
so
there,
you
but
can
that's
see
their
the
I can
backyard.
see the
Yeah, I was just
parapet
gonna
wall.
say those-
So,
How
yeah,
far up it is from my current house
so,
right now.
but it doesn't block the street at all, because there's no street
Is
there.
the
Whose
garage
fence
gonna
is that?
This is where the new one is gonna be. Okay.
That's mine.
It's your fence?
Yeah, I have a steel fence all around,
There you go.
Thank you.
in the front and all sides.
And how far from that fence? Oh, you're, I'm sorry, go
You're
ahead.
one person at a
in the
time.
same style as the house?
The brick, yes.
Yep, okay.
Yes, identical brick and windows.
Yep. Thank you.
I
Here's
did
the rest,
brick last year,
pictures.
Oh, yeah.
so that's why I wanted to do this now. so I can
Yeah,
match
still
it.
have they still sell it.
You guys want to see pictures?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen them? Okay.
Yeah,
Do they want to
absolutely.
see them?
We've seen.
You've seen them?
Okay.
Commissioner
good.
Plaskett, do you mind pulling your mic in front of your mouth? Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yours
So
is to
we
the
can hear
side.
you. Thank you.
No, we're good. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any, go ahead.
I know that you probably have more discussion. I just wanted to make sure we formally open and then close a public hearing, just for the legal aspect of
That's
the
fine.
resolution.
So this is the public section of this zoning board.
So I
Is
just wanna
that
make sure
good
we
enough?
use
Right.
the formally
Separation.
open- Yeah,
Right.
formally open and then close the public.
That's fair, yeah.
Thank you.
So when we started with this petition, which is numbered ZBA 25-01, we formally opened the public hearings, and John spoke on this property. We're now discussing with the commissioners if they have any additional questions. Any other deliberations?
How long is this gonna take? You know?
Don't ask him that.
I mean, what does the contractor say?
It's about, I'm the contractor. It'll be about 3 months.
3 months?
3 months worth of work, but there's more work involved. The interior of the house can be remodeled as well at the same time. It's all in the same firm.
Okay. Good for you. 3 months ain't bad. That's why I'm asking. Hold them to it.
Okay. So if there's no more discussion, okay?
Is there, so are we doing questions and discussion, or questions and then discussion?
We were doing discussion, but if we have questions, we had some
Well, I have
questions as
discussion,
well.
but I don't have questions.
Okay,
So-
very good. We'll move to discussion.
Yeah. I was just going to say, as far as variations go, this is kind of the textbook example of where a variation is appropriate. The property's unique, the access is unique. The zoning ordinance doesn't really envision properties with access off the corner like this. It's not typical for the village for a lot to be laid out this way.
Right.
And, the specific ordinance, that garage ordinance, in the day, it was referred to as snout house ordinance, part of what a lot of communities called anti-monotony, which was keeping garages from protruding off of the front of houses and creating a row of garages instead of a row of front doors. It's not really an issue on this location, so I would just say, I'm very supportive of this variation for the reasons that I mentioned, and quite a few that I didn't, but
Right.
just leave it at that.
Okay, thank you. Any more discussion? Discussion? And I can add to that point, yeah, I think it's already segregated in the section it is, so there's nothing to really, you're not really changing anything in that neighborhood. And the other homes that are new have front-facing garages, just as you are proposing to do. So if anything, you'd be matching more with the neighborhood. So I support this as well. Okay? Seeing no more discussion,
Do you need a motion?
yes, I would like to make the motion. Go ahead. Call for a motion.
Make sure I got the motion right. Calling a motion to approve the variance granted to ZBA 25-01 for 580 East Harrison Street, that we approve the variation for the petitioner.
Is there a second? I have a second. Okay.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question on the
Go.
motion. The
Yes.
motion should match the sample motion presented to us, unless there's a reason to vary from that. It's on the screen if you
You're right,
need it.
it's up there.
Yeah.
I think the wording, is that okay?
Yeah, the
Or do we
wording's
have to read that
important.
verbatim?
Okay, so to recommend the approval of ZBA-25-01 for a variation of section 2.5.2 attached garage design to permit a garage closer to the street lot line than the longest exterior wall of the house facing the same street. Approval.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a second. All right. We can have, hearing no further discussion, can we have a roll call vote? Yes.
Commissioner Ackerman,
Yes.
Commissioner Flaskamp,
Yes?
Commissioner Clampett,
Yep.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Chairman Pate.
Yes. So this motion passes. All right. Well-
We'll move on to our next discussion, ZBA 2502 for 920 South Summit Avenue. The petitioner is seeking a variation from section 2.3 lot and building regulations. So like last time, we'll go through the review of the application. There'll be time for comments by the petitioner and clarifying questions from the board. We'll have a public hearing. So here we go.
All right.
The petitioner would like to build an addition onto their existing home, which would connect the garage to the house. By attaching the garage to the house, the garage would need to follow the bulk regulations for the attached garage design, not detached garage. The detached garage was constructed in 2024 by the current homeowner. So being one continuous building, it would be required to follow the same setback requirements for the entire home, which would be 40 feet. Previously, the garage was following the rear setback requirements for a detached garage, which was 5 feet. The west side of the property is bordered by an unimproved alley, so there's approximately 35 feet in between the garage and the neighboring driveway. The petitioner is seeking a variation from section 2.3 lot and building regulations to permit a rear setback of 9 feet instead of the 40 feet. This is a site plan, so you can see we have the home up here, and then this yellow section here is the proposed addition, which would connect to the existing garage. We have the standards for approval of a variation. We'll have a public hearing, and then we have created a sample motion if appropriate.
Okay.
Just a question, Rob. Can you clarify some? Can you show us back on this, where's the 9 feet versus the 35 feet?
Yeah, so this is 9 feet right here, so from the corner of the garage to the property line. And then there's an existing unimproved alley right here, and then the neighboring property is right here.
So for an attached garage, I just want to make sure I'm clear, attached garage, it's 40 feet.
Yes, for an attached garage, yes.
Thank
Because
you.
that would be considering the entire home.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know, we can get other points of clarification afterwards. I think it's time for us to continue this variation request with the petitioner to come and speak. Michael Santiago, are you present? He's got a baby. He's to relocate. Michael, were you here when we swore in?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. So tell us about the variance you are seeking.
So we're seeking a variance to alleviate the 40-foot setback initially. Currently, we have a little over 9 feet from the rear of the property. There's an existing garage that we did build in 2024, and then we're looking to attach that garage. There's an existing porch where you see the yellow, and it's not attached currently. It's kind of an eyesore at the moment, to be honest. And we're looking to make improvements on that to actually attach that to the garage and make it a little more functionable, as well as add to the living space of the house.
Okay. Okay. All right, you can say it for a second. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
You have the dotted lines. What are the dotted lines for?
In the middle there, sir? So
Yeah.
that's the current existing enclosed porch. My house was built in 1952, and as far as...
So that's an enclosed porch
Yes.
that you're gonna get rid of.
Yes, correct. Yep.
And your house is just two-story brick
Yes, sir.
and frame building,
Yes, sir.
and that other garage is still gonna be existing?
Yes, that is newly
That's new,
constructed
right?
as of 2024. Yeah.
And where's the entrance for that garage?
It is on the
The north side.
north side. Yep. Thank you.
North is, if I'm looking at the map,
Yep.
north to be on top?
Yes, on Adams Street.
And you have access from that street?
Yeah, on Adams Street there.
Well, that's Adams?
Yep.
It's
And-
17 feet from the street.
Yes, sir. A little over 17 feet there.
Yeah, I see that.
Yes, sir.
And you're gonna have access to that frame garage that you have existing to that new garage?
Yes, sir.
And where does that existing door open at on that framed garage? Same as the other one?
As far as the car garage doors or the service door for people?
Car garage doors?
It's on that side. My
North
drive,
side as well?
the north side.
Okay, and that's a three-car garage?
It's a two-car garage.
Two, big two.
Yeah.
3 feet gap.
Okay. Any additional questions from the commission?
Yes. So you built the garage in 2024, correct?
Yes.
So I'm just trying to understand why now you're trying to what is prompting the addition of connecting the house to the garage since you just built the garage?
To be honest, I wasn't aware of the variation, if that was even possible, until recently, to be honest. So that's kind of why I petitioned for it, so.
Had you planned on all along putting,
That was our original plan,
Okay.
yes. And then we got brought to our attention that we needed 40 feet in the rear there.
so you just did the garage and,
Yeah, and then,
Okay.
yeah,
okay.
yes.
So is the garage built to standards of an attached garage?
I believe so, yes.
Detached
Or
garage.
for detached.
It's for detached, so then
Right.
you would have to bring the garage up to code
Right.
for an attached garage?
So that's why we're having this variation request. The only thing that would need a variation would be the rear setback.
Right. So my understanding from reading all your materials that you submitted, and also for the convenience of not having to walk around to the front of the house
Right,
and
right.
be able to get in, building the garage where it is currently, and you can help qualify this, where it currently sits is fine. It meets zoning.
Right.
But when you attached it, it became attached garage, which is different. So I think that's something, that clarification that we're thinking about and what you were alluding to. So he did it, it's proper as is, it's fine. But if you attach it, that's when you need the extra space. So,
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What's making your request unique in comparison to all the other lots on your block there, or at least south of you, have the same challenges? Why is this a unique situation for you?
I would say the amount of space, I guess, is somewhat unique. You know, we have mostly side yard, you know, not much backyard there. And as well as having that unimproved alleyway on the side. I think that would be kind of unique.
any additional questions? Questions? Troy, any questions?
No more questions.
Jarrett, you have any questions, sir? And of course, we can move to discussion after that. What-
No, the lot's 125 by 49. Okay.
I have a question. So the addition on the Adams Street side, will now be the same, I don't know the word I want to use.
The same, like width,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So that's not going to stick out anymore?
Not anymore towards the Adams side. It's
Okay.
going to be flush with the house, where
Okay,
we would
flush,
go
that's
into
the
our
word.
side yard,
Okay.
you know, at that point. A couple of feet, so.
I also believe within the plans that you provided, the height is the same for the house, is it?
Yes.
With the house. Also, that dotted line is, just so, I'm just saying it for the group, exists already. So he, as far as a physical structure being put in place, he's only, again, I'm just thinking volume, expanding outside that dotted line. So it's, so the structural stuff in that's a different request. You're just, right here in this meeting, you're asking for the variation.
Right, correct.
It's almost touching.
Right, right, exactly. It's actually 5
Right,
feet away from the
right,
garage currently.
already, yeah,
So,
so.
which is to code under a detached garage.
Right.
Right.
All right.
And it's gonna be a frame?
Yes, sir.
I'm giving Jared a minute in case he has some.
Not a
He's
problem.
looking for something.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Okay. So I don't have any more discussion points. I think we can bring this to a vote. Can I have a motion? Oh,
We're
you
not
want-
having discussion? Oh, we're not
we-
having
we-
discussion?
I asked for discussion.
Oh, I'm
if
sorry,
I
I
missed
missed
you.
that part.
Yes,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Go ahead.
So now you need to formally open, the public hearing portion is when we get,
Thank you for
comments.
telling me
We need
that.
to open the
All right.
public hearing.
Very good. Michael, thank you for your comments. Yep. We'd like to formally open for public discussion on the home at 920 South Summit Avenue. Does anyone wish to comment? Have a statement on that property? Okay, having none, we will close that segment of public discussion. Okay? Okay, now I'd like to have a motion to vote.
I would move to approve, to recommend approval of ZBA 2502 for a variation from section 2.3, table 2-3, lot and building regulations to permit a rear yard setback of 9 feet.
Do I have a second? Okay, we have a second. Now I'd like to call for a vote.
Commissioner Ackerman,
Yes.
Commissioner Flaskamp,
Yes.
Commissioner Clampett,
No,
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Chairman Pate.
Yes. So that is approved to submit to the board for their ultimate approval. Okay? Thank you for your submission. Okay. Next agenda item. We will move to the petitioner at 1046 South Route 83 in Villa Park. Will you review this one?
The case ZBA 25-03 is for a variation from section 9.2.2, allowed fence heights and locations. I'll go over a summary of the applicant's request and background, allow for the petitioner to make any clarifying comments, allow for clarifying questions from the commission. We'll open a public hearing, returning for commission discussion and motion if appropriate. The petitioner would like to construct a 6-foot tall privacy fence in their front yard to block noise and traffic. Based on the dimensions of the property, the front lot line is facing the Route 83 frontage road and Route 83. This is a corner lot, which the driveway is accessed only from Van Buren Street and has no connection to the frontage road or Route 83. As this is on a intersecting right-of-way, a visibility triangle would still be required. Setback from the southeast corner of the property, a 20-foot section of fence would need to be at a 3-foot height, and then it can raise to taller fence, which is the variation that they're requesting tonight for a 6-foot fence. So the fence proposed would be 3 feet tall on the southeast property line headed north, and then increasing to a 6-foot tall solid privacy fence. Section 9.2.2, I'll say starts with a fence in the front yard would be permitted a 4-foot tall, 50% open style of fence. So the applicant tonight is requesting a 6-foot tall solid privacy fence. Section 9.2.2 permits fences up to 6 feet in height in yards abutting Illinois Route 83 between East Park Boulevard and East Madison Street. This property is the first property south of East Madison Street. And all properties south of Madison are business, commercially zoned properties, not residential. So on the screen is a site plan showing the location of the home in the center of the lot. As mentioned, the East Van Buren Street is a cul-de-sac at the end, which does not connect to the Illinois 83 frontage road, and then further Route 83. The southeast corner, the fence will be a 3-foot solid privacy fence, then increasing to a 6-foot solid privacy fence. On the screen is an aerial photograph showing that lack of connection between the frontage road and Van Buren. We have also included the standards for variation, review, and approval if the commission deems appropriate. We will hold a public hearing for any resident comment. Staff did receive an email which was placed on your seats before you tonight.
I have it.
Some comments from a resident. And then staff has prepared a sample motion that the commission deems appropriate. And with that, staff or the commissioner can answer any questions.
Right. So as you mentioned, we'll get to this on the public comments. At this time, we're going to ask for the petitioner to come forward. Thank you. Mario Hernandez?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you tell us about your project?
Yeah, so this house was empty for a while. We bought it and did a full renovation. So where you see there, I'd like to, could you go to the aerial view, please? I think it's perfect that she put this picture because you can see trucks parked right there on frontage road. I know it said on there it was for noise, but it's honestly mostly because truckers park directly in front of the front door and the yard. And also, since, like she said, it's all commercial, that's Walmart. And a lot of people, there's a golf course a few houses down, and a lot of people will walk to Walmart. I'm not sure if it's from there, but it's quite a bit of traffic. And they like to cut right in front of my yard, sometimes even like going 5 feet from the front door. And I just think it's like a safety issue as well as obviously like a privacy. It's a very busy road, and like I said, on that frontage road, lots of truckers like to park. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Are there any questions from the commission?
So you're just north of Walmart.
Yeah.
So the property,
South.
South of
Just
Walmart.
South,
Oh, yeah,
south of Walmart, and then
Oh, he's south of Walmart.
west
I
of
didn't know
the
that there was a little
frontage road. on that-
cul-de-sac there.
West of the frontage road.
I seen it on the north side, I didn't see it on the south side. Is that what you're doing there?
That's right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
you were saying, so the property to the north of you, is that residential also? I can't tell on this one.
It's zoned a flood.
That's a flood zone? Okay.
I tried to buy that too.
What is this?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So you bought the house with the big, not antenna, diagram with the peace sign on it?
Peace sign?
No, that ain't you.
No, this is
No,
further south.
that's somewhere else. That's north of
That's
there.
north.
It was abandoned for like a few years. It's pretty infamous, I hear.
Yeah, I just didn't know which house you bought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Up until about a year ago, or maybe less, you wouldn't have probably seen the house, because it was completely overgrown with
Yeah.
trees and brush.
That's
Oh.
how we
Like-
bought it.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
And where does the triangle of visibility apply here? Is it because of the turnabout there?
So
Here
at
we go.
an intersection of two streets, which the right-of-ways do intersect in this location, to have visibility at that intersection, if you take 20 feet back each of the property lines,
Where's the?
connecting line made between those 2 points,
I think it's for access.
you can have a maximum height of 36 inches. So that's the reason for
is
the
here.
20-foot section of
That's
3-foot
what it
fence
Mhm.
at the far
Right.
south section
Okay.
of that front property line.
Can you put it on that other diagram so I can understand what you're saying?
Sure.
Okay, so now can you show me that?
From this point of intersection at the two right-of-ways, the visibility triangle is required if you take 20 feet on the north of this point of intersection, and then 20 feet west of this point of intersection. If you draw a triangle, so a connecting line between those 2 points, nothing greater than 36 inches can be within that triangle area. So that's the reason for the applicant proposing a 3-foot privacy fence at this southern portion of that front line. So there would be 20 feet of 3-foot solid fence, and then approximately 90 feet of 6-foot solid fence north of that.
I can't see the street. Where's the street at?
It's not totally picked, that's the street
The
here.
frontage road is to
Thank
the
you.
east
Sorry.
of the subject property.
Okay,
in
it's
gray.
that big, okay.
It's here with the mouse. 83 is farther, and then Van Buren
Right.
Street is south.
Okay.
So for clarification, there's at that cul-de-sac, it's actually blocked off, right, by a
Yeah.
sign. I
It's a-
assume the village put it
They
there.
don't connect, so
They don't
there's a
physically
cul-de-sac
connect.
at the end of Van Buren, so you cannot go from Van Buren to that frontage road.
Right. And there's literally a curb as
Or
well.
anywhere else,
Yeah.
Right,
for that matter.
right.
And you mentioned the fencing ordinance is allowed to Madison, but no properties south of Madison?
Section
Does anybody- does-
9.2.2 permits that properties abutting 83 between Park and
Mhm.
Madison can have 6-foot tall fences adjacent to 83. This property just happens to be south of Madison.
And is that?
But the same
Is the reasoning
situation.
because this is actually on the frontage road? Because further north, they're actually abutting 83 directly, right?
That
Do
could
you
be
know
one
the
reason.
reasoning for that ordinance back then? No? Or that limitation,
That
Madison?
could be one reason.
I don't. That was, as far as I'm aware, not part of the zoning ordinance update, so probably carried over from the previous zoning ordinance. Some of the language in there remained intact when we
Sure.
updated. But as Director House is saying, there's not, I mean, there's a couple of residential down there, but that's all zoned commercial, correct?
Right.
So, without knowing when that ordinance is written, it's kind of hard to guess why. It's probably more oversight than,
Sure.
a specific exclusion to those homes for some reason.
Right.
The house directly to your south has a 6-foot fence, right?
It does, yeah.
does,
There's a
right.
few of them down the street.
Right.
And I heard they got money from the city. So,
That's your next question.
yeah.
So wait,
Okay, are there additional questions? Oh, go ahead,
the
Troy.
lot at RS 10, that's got a 6-foot fence on the west, or the east end of the property, right? Yep.
Yeah, east.
Okay.
South?
East.
South, it's got,
Oh, the
it's
south
the property
south
south.
house across the street.
Right? Has a fence on the east side, so between the property and the frontage road.
Unfortunately, I don't have the history on that one and when that was.
Right, that's right.
Well, they said they'd speak only the truth when we started this meeting. So, let's go by that.
You live right near, next street over. I know exactly the house.
Yeah,
I know exactly that.
yeah.
It was abandoned for a
Thank
while.
God.
Yeah, everyone thinks in the area.
Okay, any additional questions? Questions?
I'm good.
Any discussion?
I would just say that I'm supportive of this one, primarily because, again, like the one we looked at on Harrison, this is a fairly unique situation where we have a lot essentially on Route 83. And having been down the south part of that frontage road myself a few times, I don't think most people do go down there. But there are frequently semis parked the full length of that idling. So you do have noise and visibility to the expressway, to Route 83. And, not having any neighbors to the east, it's typically why you wouldn't want a 6-foot fence in the front yard, because your neighbor doesn't want to look at your 6-foot fence maybe.
Right.
It breaks up neighborhoods like
Continuity.
like
Correct.
a ice cube tray, and that's obviously not a concern here. So I have no issue with this.
Yeah. Any other discussion? No discussion. Yeah, I'd like it to, the work on the house, revitalizing that area is great. I'm sure your neighbor across the street loves it. Will those trees stay intact? I there you could see what side of those trees. Do those go on the west side of the trees or east? From your recollection, it doesn't matter that much. I still kind of support it.
I don't remember, it's just going to be on the property line, and we're just going to come as far out as they let us.
last year,
If
right.
they're on the inside, we'll go on the outside, but if
Right.
they're right on there, we'll probably go a little short.
Yeah, just asking. That was just all right. If there's no other discussion from the commission, no other questions? No. Okay, we can close this section and from the petitioner, and we will open up any public communications that you would like to have on this request for an appeal. Any public? So I didn't mention this to anyone here because we weren't in session. I have an email. Is this something I can read from someone who could not attend, but they put in a public speaking through an email? So they sent this in. It was given to me. As we mentioned earlier, she was giving us our overview. We can't talk about these things separately, so this is the first time the commission's hearing it as well, and myself. So someone wanted to comment. Judy Worley, 625 East Van Buren Street, of course, Villa Park. She wanted to make a statement. Good afternoon. I can't come to this meeting tomorrow. I stopped by the Community Development Center today and spoke to Rachel Leadham. Someone working at this property was also there. He told me that Marlowe plans to sell this house. There is no for sale sign in the yard. My main question is, why wouldn't the new homeowners and buyers then be the appropriate ones to come before the Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals for a request for variance? And in parentheses, if that is what they want, with that, is that their preference, or might there be a fence? That's a question she has. So that's for whoever you might sell it to, I suppose. Again, I'm just reading her email and translating. And again, if I read it directly, the other two homes facing the frontage road do not have 6-foot fences in front. Will those homeowners then be able to petition for this? I've never seen a 6-foot fence in front of a yard down here. So I assume she means that side, as we just discussed, that on the other side they do have it. Thank you for considering my question. Sincerely, Judy Worley. So that's not for me. Someone who couldn't be here submitted their question. So, just hold on one moment. Is there any questions? Should I reread it? Do you want to see this? Again, they
No,
handed it
I
to me
would
in my
just say
packet.
it seems like possibly I know this is technically in a front yard because it extends past the front of the house, but I don't think it's in front of the house as the letter makes it sound like they may understand. I don't know.
Right, I know what
I
you mean.
can't, I'm only speculating,
Right.
but,
That, and I don't know what the relevance of maybe selling it
Yeah,
is.
in
I
that
don't know
reg-
how that
Right.
applies.
I was gonna say, well, that's not really our purview to begin with.
Exactly.
You say buyers would rather have the certainty of knowing they have a fence than that they might be able to get one if they do it themselves.
Probably a good decision to have it if you are selling, as
Yeah.
opposed to that.
I was going to comment that I do think that from what I can understand it, they do seem to have a misunderstanding of what the front yard would be. As well as, yeah, I don't think it is really our opinion on whether or not he's going to sell the home in the future. Everyone will probably sell their home in the future, so
Right.
if he wants to do the variance, put a fence in now, that's his prerogative. He's the homeowner
Right.
at this time.
Right, exactly. Any other statements there? You have any?
No.
Yeah, we're good, yeah. So, yeah, I tend to agree with that line of thinking as well. If you're making improvements on the property and you are able to get a variance, good for you. Yes,
I just wanted to clarify one thing. When we were discussing the home across Van Buren, it appears that that home's front yard actually does face Van Buren. So the section of fencing that you're seeing along the frontage would be their side and rear yard, which a 6-foot fence would be permitted in that location.
right.
Understood.
And just, sorry.
Just
Oh,
to
thank
clarify,
you.
yes.
Oh.
Clarify, no, you're right.
Just to respond to the other question that she had, yes, any applicant or future petitioner would be able to ask for a similar 6-foot solid fence anywhere in the village as part of the variation process.
Right,
Each variation is considered on a case-by-case basis and must prove hardship and uniqueness. So because a 6-foot solid fence is approved at this location, does not mean that every home along 83 and facing 83 would also receive the same variation.
right. Which is the nature of a variation.
Yeah,
so,
they don't
yes.
set, just so everyone's clear, they don't set precedent for future variations on other properties.
Thank you, Director.
Okay. So if there are any other public comments other than this email that I had? Okay, seeing none, I will end the public comments section. Any more board deliberations?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Can you enlarge it?
You want me to
Make a
read it?
motion to approve, to recommend approval of ZBA 25-03 for a variation from section 9.2.2, allowed fence heights and locations, to permit a 6-foot solid fence in the front yard.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Did I
Okay.
read that right?
Yes, you did. And I have a second. Thank you. Okay, so now if we're ready, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Flaskia?
Yes.
Commissioner Clampett?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Kane?
Yes.
Commissioner Ackerman?
Yes.
Chairman Pate?
Yes. All right. So thank you very much for, we'll get that submitted, and the board will make the final decision on if that's approved. Okay, thank you. Next item, the petitioner is the Islamic Foundation, 300 West High Ridge, of course, in Villa Park. We'll start off with a review from the village.
The Islamic Foundation is located at 300 West High Ridge. Tonight, they're requesting an amendment to their special use to permit a body wash facility for funeral preparations on the existing site. I'll go over a summary of their request in the background, allow for the petitioner to make any comments, allow for clarifying questions from the commission. We'll hold a public hearing and return for commission discussion and motion if appropriate. A bit of history on the Islamic Foundation. They originally received approval of the private school, and it was called a church in the ordinance in 1983. In 1991, they received a special use amendment for a school building addition, mosque building addition, and they also increased the parking at that time. In 2001, they built a new school building, built in addition to the existing school, did a mosque building addition, and increased their parking again. And then in 2025, they're asking for a special use amendment to allow for a new body wash facility. The addition would add 851.2 square feet, and that addition would have a height of 12 feet, which is shorter than the mosque section of the building that it is adjacent to. The lot coverage would increase from 66.55% to 66.77% on site. That proposed body wash facility would be fully accessible from the exterior of that addition only. There's not an interior connection from that body wash facility to the mosque. The existing paver parking area outside of that addition would now also be striped with compliant parking stalls. Currently, it's just a large paver area with no designated parking stalls. And then this special use application would amend the prior approvals to permit this specific use as an accessory use to the mosque. So without the mosque, you would not have this body wash facility. So that is the reason that this would be considered. And then this would still permit all of the religious and school uses existing on site today. So this is a close-up site plan of the proposed addition. It kind of fits into the existing building. It comes out to meet the adjacent sidewalk. There would be 2 entrances on the north and south side of that proposed addition. And then just as a view of the whole, this is the entire Islamic Foundation site. The proposed addition is the small red building to the west of the mosque section of the property. As we talked about at our Zoning Board of Appeals 101 earlier, this would have the standards of review for special use and approval. We will hold a public hearing to have any comments from the public on this case, and then staff has prepared a sample motion if deemed appropriate by the commission. The staff and the petitioner are available to answer any questions.
Okay. Can you go, yeah, that's the page I went to see. Can you zoom in on that piece a little bit, the red box? Maybe not. I don't know.
They couldn't zoom in for me.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe it'd be,
If you go down the bottom.
Is this what you want to see?
Oh, yeah, okay. I have it
So
locally,
we
yeah.
have-
And, yeah, both of these. Oh, I
should've
see.
thought
So
to
there's
just
a
read it
purple
off.
that's included.
No, they're not. I've seen it.
Shame on me.
They don't.
Note to self.
Okay, so I think we can have representation from the Islamic Foundation come and speak on your petition.
That the recommendation is in here.
Good evening. Would you state your name and?
Tanveer Malik.
Hello, Khabib. Thank you.
Thank you for having us here. The reason we are trying to put this facility is, as a religious facility, we do handle a lot of deceased, prayers for the deceased, and then they go to burial at one of the cemeteries in the area. In preparation of the burial, it's very simple. Basically, the body is washed as if you're washing, but in this case, it's a dead body. There's no special requirements other than a nice wash. The reason we need this here is the community is really large and it has grown. And at this time, in the past years, there have been a lot of instances where the deceased have had to take their loved ones to a remote facility to go through the wash process and then bring them to the Islamic Foundation Mosque for the funeral prayers, and then take them to the cemetery for burial. As you understand, it could be quite harrowing for as it is, they're grieving the loss of a loved one. So the intention is to provide at least, it's still not a one-stop shop, because still you have to go to the cemetery, but at least minimize that transportation from wherever the deceased breathes his or her last, or the home or a hospital or nursing home, to a body wash facility, to the mosque for prayers, to the cemetery. So we're trying to eliminate that one step. Mm-hmm. In terms of locating the facility, we have tried to do it such that it's far away from the main street of High Ridge, so it's private, and we have designed it such that it has no direct connection with the existing mosque building. Is there anything else need to add? Or, I don't know.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
And thank you. And this is ignorance on my part, I guess. So this is just religious cleansing, and it's not like mortuary. Maybe this is for you. This isn't like related to mortuary services.
No. There's no embalming or none of that.
Okay.
Just religious cleansing, water and soap.
So this is a common religious practice.
That is correct. Right now, we have facilities in Berkeley, in Naperville, in Schaumburg, Des Plaines, Burr Ridge. There's a bunch of them we have that, except we are the biggest mosque in the area and we don't have this. So we thought it's about time.
And it's not connected to the mosque or the school.
the wall is connected to the mosque, but there's no access to the mosque. And yes, it's definitely far from the school. We tried to put it as far from the school as possible.
So I have a question. So you stated that, you wanted to eliminate steps of transporting the body. So how do you get the body from the washing station to the mosque?
Well, it's scattered in the casket. So once the body is washed and prepared and shrouded in the burial shroud, it's put in a coffin, and then I'm sure you've seen those scissor carts that carry the bodies. It's carried into the mosque through the exterior door for the prayers, which is being done right now as it is. They come in, they park in the front, we take the body out, we bring in the mosque for prayers, and then we take it back out. So instead of bringing it from outside in a car, it'll be coming from the body wash facility into the mosque. And so that the door in the north that we have put in of the that's right next to a door that enters the mosque, which is basically an exit door. It stays closed all the time, but it'll be open for the purposes of bringing in the deceased for the prayers.
And I imagine your segregation of that building is for a reason.
That is correct.
You don't want to.
That is correct.
Right. Because if someone says, oh, open the door on the side, you don't want to do that. That's
That is
why you
correct.
have it that way.
Because
It needs to be separate.
Among other things, there's huge privacy issues involved for
Yes,
understandable reasons.
absolutely.
And so that's why the less accessibility, the better it is.
Right, yeah.
Are there any health considerations? I mean, we're dealing with the bodies of the deceased and washing them. Is there any special handling of,
Not that I know of. I mean, I have bathed bodies, and it's just soap and water. And unless I know during COVID times there were special requirements, but normally there's none, to my knowledge. And I
I
don't
just
claim
don't
to
know,
have.
I've never dealt with a dead.
No, I mean, like I said,
There's no chemicals involved.
no, there's not.
Okay.
Just soap.
No, This is just a pure water cleansing.
Cleansing them, that's it.
That is correct. Thank you, sir.
So are you saying that's the difference between having a mortuary service versus a body cleansing service? Is that the fact of there are some chemicals involved? Or would this still be considered somewhat of a mortuary service because that's what you're doing with a postmortem?
Honestly, ma'am, I'm not too familiar what the mortuary services are, so I cannot give an honest answer to that question.
Looks like staff may have an answer for you.
Well, she has a question. Go ahead, interjection.
From my understanding, there would still need to be someone that is a designated funeral
That is
director.
correct.
That would be overseeing this body wash facility. There's no embalming that would be happening, so as far as chemicals, there would not be any. That funeral director would still have a license through IDFPR through the state of Illinois. And then they would be the one overseeing all body washing and funeral preparations happening within this portion, this facility.
Because you need a licensed funeral director to transport the
Or
body.
body.
And we have had conversations
Yeah.
with the Muslim Family Funeral Services, gentleman by the name of Harun Firdausi, who has been doing this in the area. And once we have this facility, we'll have a contract with him to oversee this. Yes, thank you.
And I think too, the distinction, because we're saying, we're using the word services, but I think we could be using it different when we say washing as a religious service and as a service, like, oh, I'm going to provide a service. I don't think it's the providing of a service. I think it's a religious
It's a religious practice. That's what
practice.
it is.
Right. So that's all. I'm just making a distinction. So we're saying
Thank
the
you.
same things.
But isn't it providing a service?
Yes.
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 You're providing a
but-
service, it's not part of a prayer type or religious service, that would be practice.
No, it is part of the religious practice.
But it's also a service.
I would maybe frame your thought of it more as this is an accessory use to the main religious use on the site.
Right. Because it's a practice of the religion.
Yes, it is.
To cleanse the body before burial services. So we don't want to say, if Catholics take communion, are they getting food service?
No, but I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just giving,
I
but it's a
understand,
service.
but I'm just like, but I mean,
Thanks,
we look at
Rodney.
other,
Yeah.
we look at other religious
That was good.
organizations or whatever that may be, but do they have these types of services attached to their religious buildings, so to speak?
So I have reviewed other Islamic mosques within the area, so I know Des Plaines offers this same use as part of their overall mosque in Des Plaines. So there, it is something that other communities do have as part of this type of religious institution.
And it's, I mean, I know we're kind of in questions, but it's fairly typical for religious facilities to have accessory uses like perhaps an office component or a daycare or preschool component that might not be permitted in that district as of right, but it's considered an accessory to that primary religious assembly use.
Right, and I think people just, others may think that, just because it's a post-mortem service, it's a little bit different than preschool or something else that goes along with that. So that's kind of, it's because previously this was a residential
It still is a
zone.
residential.
It is still zoned residential, which really doesn't permit these types of services. So if you want to put it in that post-mortem service category.
Sure. So religious institutions are only permitted in the MXT district. All other zoning districts, they are permitted as a special use, going through the same process that we're doing tonight. So it would be the same process no matter what zoning district we were in, except for MXT, that we would be having this special use review for this same type of service in even a commercial zoning district as well.
If I can make another comment, I think, it's much like, I don't know if you guys know any Jewish people, they gotta be buried within a certain period of time. I think this applies to them as well. So they have a period of time that they have to do this, and so,
But is it done at the same facility?
what do you mean?
So they're doing it at the same facility as the mosque, or is that what's,
No, they're doing it at the building that they're talking about.
but it's
Then they
attached?
bring it to the mosque.
Okay, but it's attached.
Pardon me?
But it's still attached to the mosque.
No, the building is separate. He says they can't access it from the mosque. They have to come out to go to the mosque. Am I right?
Yes, sir. There's two doors, one north and south, and there's no access to the mosque.
No, nobody
Except-
can go in there.
Except when we need to take the body in for the prayers, then we open the door, and that's about it.
I have one more question, and maybe staff knows this. Is there any impact, like, on property values with this kind of service coming in?
I'm unaware of any, I don't have information on that.
So another question, but so when you looked at the Des Plaines situation, is that also special use, or is that in an MX district,
So theirs is also a special use, yes.
in a residential?
Yes.
So is Schaumburg.
I didn't check those.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Schaumburg too. Naperville is not. Burridge is, I believe, I'm not sure. But Schaumburg is, I know that for a fact, because I did speak with their director.
And then, just as you talk about it, so the addition is for the body wash area. All the other components happen there already, correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
That is
so it's
correct.
not like you don't have, and if you use the word funeral services at that location, they do. Go in the back, bring the body, they just don't have the opportunity. So the hardship is that you can't do the body wash there conveniently.
That is correct, yeah. The bodies are still coming in, they're washed elsewhere, and that creates a hardship for the families. We're trying to provide that service on-site, so there's minimum transportation of the body.
So is this service only going to be applicable to your current members?
There's no membership, so it's open to.
Whatever.
It's open to anybody who wishes to have the services performed there.
Right. So again, it's a religious service, not a
If I can add something.
not a business service.
No, it's not a business. I
Right.
mean, obviously, there's a charge to it, but it's
Right.
to cover the
Understood.
costs.
Right.
It's not a business, thank you.
Could I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Kind of related to the intensity of the use, approximately how many funeral services would you estimate you have? Whatever, monthly, weekly, and I'm not going to hold you to it, but just a ballpark.
Well, at least once or twice a week.
Okay.
There have been days where we had 3.
Of course.
But it's usually 1 or 2 a week, and as the population is aging and growing, it's gonna get more. So yeah, I would say 2 a week is a good average, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
If I can add something to your question about the value of the property, I think, if anything, it increases the value because it has everything you need there. Besides your mosque, your prayer, and you could do the complete from the beginning to your marriage to your death. I think you can't go anything better than that.
Yes, we do have marriage facilities.
And I'm not
too.
thinking, I don't think his
So you meant
question was the
surrounding.
property value to his property. I think the surrounding residential properties,
I
I think was the
understand that.
question.
That's what I'm referring to. I think that's what it means. It brings it up to value because people want to be around facilities like that that are complete, I believe.
All
But
you're
I'm a
missing is a
Catholic.
drive-through.
Not quite yet.
No, we don't have.
Was
we
there
don't
another
have to be
question?
Catholic.
Okay. Is there another question? Troy, did you
No,
have something?
no, I'm good.
Interesting.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
patience answering me. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Any other questions on this side? No questions? Okay, with that, we'll end the petitioner section, and we'll move to the public hearing and public comment. The floor is open. Are there any public comments? Okay.
Hi, my name is Bilal Mujahid. I'm a resident of Villa Park. Wanted to add a public comment in support of this service.
Can you bring your mic up a little bit?
Sure, yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Is it better? So, no, I did want to add a comment in support of this service. I'm a resident of Villa Park for the last 8 years. And the gentleman's comment about the speed, it is kind of important in our religion. I'm Muslim. And typically, when someone passes away, you want to try to bury them within, before the next sunset. That's typically been our practice. And, it's not a hard requirement, but it definitely, when you're dealing with a bad situation like that, not to have to do the logistics of going back and forth to a suburb 10 miles away and then come back, it definitely helps, right? And your comment about having a full-service facility, that's pretty important. People do move here because of the mosque. Like you have a lot of services. So this does make it look better. I moved to Villa Park from Oak Lawn because of the mosque. I felt like, okay, my kids can go to school, I can go there. These kinds of services being there, it looks, it definitely helped me consider this place when I was looking. So I just wanted to support the initiative here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Khalid Sabri. I'm one of the residents in Villa Park for the past 45 years. I have seen this foundation growing from nothing to what we are today. To answer your question, first of all, if you don't know anything about the belief or anything, maybe we should study that. This is one of the largest, one of the biggest foundation. This is one of the largest Islamic center in the state of Illinois. Okay, the belief is this, that you need to bury your loved one when they passed on within a certain time, as soon as possible. So the way the process is today, if someone dies in Downers Grove, that we don't have a facility here in Villa Park, that means we have to take the body to Chicago or someplace else. So you know what that is? That's a road trip, going from one location to the other, and that adds time. So the services are that you need to put in the body as soon as possible in the ground. So all we're doing is we're not doing post-mortem, we're not doing anything like that because we're not doctors. Okay, so whatever happens, basically, all of that stuff taking place at the hospital level. When you bring the body to a funeral home, basically it has a clear bill of whatever you need to do, you can do that. So this facility is nothing but body wash, just like you're taking a bath. No chemical, nothing whatsoever. So I want to make that very clear. There is nothing involved in such a fashion. So belief says that you need to be cleansed, buried properly. So that's all we are asking for. So this specific facility, what you're looking at, it attaches to the foundation, to the mosque, but does not mean that you are taking in bodies in and out. No, you're washing the body, you're wrapping it properly, and then you are doing your final prayers and then taking it to the cemetery. So there is no chemical whatsoever. All you're doing is a clean wash. I just want to make that very clear. So there is nothing like that. So the belief, if you don't know about the belief, perhaps we should read that. This is one of the largest foundation in state of Illinois. Okay, so they have all the rights. They need to do whatever their belief is, and other communities are doing the same exact thing. So please consider that before you think about any of the other things. I have no further comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Are there any additional comments from the public? Any discussion from the commissioners? Yes.
Yeah, I would like to say I really do think we should approve this or recommend it for approval. The Islamic Foundation is very important to our community, and this is an important religious practice. And I think because it's already zoned for special use for religion, I do think that having this there helps them with their purpose of being here in Villa Park and achieving their goals in the religion. It makes it easier on our constituents in the Villa Park, but as well as the religious community. As well as I would like to comment with it being zoned residential. For two things with that, it is zoned residential, but Willowbrook is right across from it. Jackson's nearby. It is a big green area. There are houses next to the Islamic Foundation, but it's not many. So even though it's zoned residential, it's not this strict residential area. It already has a lot of special use or different variances going on there. As well as, too, I understand that there could be concerns with funeral services being within a residential area, but like they said, this is not a mortuary practice. It is a religious service. It is body washing. But also, anyways, there are at least 2 funeral homes in Villa Park I can think of that are right next to residences anyways. And so I don't think that's I think there are safety concerns there, but there are codes and regulations have to be followed anyways. So I do think this should be approved.
I second that.
Thank you.
And I agree 100%. I've been around long enough to remember the mosque going up, and I lived in the area also. So I have
45
watched
years.
everything happen the proper way. Everything's always fit perfectly, and I don't look at this as any different.
Right.
You are.
Right. Yeah.
You are.
Any other? Go ahead.
I have a question. I mean, just due to the fact that this is something that doesn't really happen in a lot of areas, it seems like. So my concern would this be going to the Planning Commission as well, due to them having control over traffic and safety? Because if you're saying you have like 2 or 3 a week, but if this becomes more of one of the places to go to for that, would that increase traffic? Would that increase the amount of services that you would be providing because of the only access being from High Ridge Road with, as you mentioned, the schools all being around there and being that only is the access point to it, would that be something that they would need to consider?
So this case would, yes, go to the Plan Commission next week.
It has a parking facility.
Right.
Has a big parking facility.
I understand the parking facility. I'm more worried
Okay.
about the traffic up and down High Ridge Road because it's
it gets
dense
some
as it is already.
Right.
Due to the high school being there, as well as it's a thoroughfare for parents and students who come and go from the schools. So that would be my concern.
But they're already holding funeral services there,
Right.
and I mean.
My question is because would it increase because it is not there are not very many of them is what I'm hearing, correct?
They just can't wash there. They do the funeral services there at the mosque.
I
Let
understand.
them answer.
Go ahead.
Yes, there will be.
Can you approach the mic again? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Thank you. We just like to have it recorded.
Yeah, to answer your question, Commissioner, there will be a slight increase, yes. And the increase will be, as it is, let's say if you, just to throw a number, if you're having 100 cars come in for a funeral prayer, the number will not go up more than 100 because the family is still there. What it will do is, during the process of washing, there will be like 5 or 6 maximum cars, usually 1 or 2. That's about it.
And I'm not worried about the amount of cars. I'm worried about the frequency.
The frequency will be, like I said, right now, the frequency of funerals is average, I would say, about 2 a week. It's probably go to 3 a week, maybe 4 in the near future. Yes, that's about it. And What we try to do is we try to have these services done in off hours. So like, for instance, we want to have the prayers, the funeral prayer after the early afternoon prayer, which is around 1:30. So the bodies are usually washed between around the 11 o'clock time frame, so which is a low traffic area, not, before after the school is in session and before the school is out. So that'll help. I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
Any other comments?
Michelle's got something to say.
I was going to say, if, concern over timing is something that the commission shares, you can place conditions on the approval of like timing of when funerals can happen, when the body wash can be used. That is something that would be within the commission's purview if you felt necessary to include that. My only recommendation would be to give them some wiggle room so that they can still do their operations as they.
Right. Thank you for that insight. And with regard to that, I would first put the onus on them to say, this is what would work, and if it fits, great, because I wouldn't know. So as long as their time fit in that. And I don't know how that would be broached. Would someone have to raise?
Included as part of the motion.
Someone would have to do that, though.
Can I
which I'm
ask
not
a
doing at the
question?
moment.
Okay, now, like I said, I'm Catholic, and we always have these big orange stickers that say funeral on ours. Do you have anything like that?
Yes, we do.
So you would have the same similar situation, therefore you should be respected the same as the Catholic families that come out to do the same thing.
Like I said, the only difference is that the body.
Why don't you just sit over there?
Oh, you recorded, I'm sorry. No, so like I said, the only difference that we are requesting is instead of the body being cleansed off-site, it be cleansed on-site. The rest of the formalities and the services, same. The people come in, they pay their respects, they pray, and then the body leaves. In the past, we used to go as a procession, but with increased traffic, but we put those funeral stickers on the cars so people can go to the cemetery with those stickers.
Okay. Yeah, so personally, I mean, are we in discussion?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, personally, I'm supportive of this. I think in terms of the intensity of the use on what's essentially a large campus already.
Yep.
If 2 funerals becomes 5, I don't think anyone notices. The Islamic Foundation itself has a self-interest in not tying up traffic during school hours because they have students that go to school there. I personally don't see a need to apply conditions related to that. That's my own personal opinion. I'm open to discuss that, but that's my feeling. You're talking an increase of 1% or so on the site coverage, which is nothing.
0.22%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
about 1%.
I drove through the site a couple of different times. One, it was kind of busy. One, it was virtually empty. This is going to be visible from. If somebody is not home when the construction happens, they won't know what happened. Would be my guess. From a building standpoint, I don't see it increasing the intensity of use enough, in my opinion, to warrant a condition on hours. Like I said, I'm more than willing to hear arguments about that if someone feels otherwise, though.
Yes.
I wanted to state that I also, it doesn't seem like this is getting added necessarily to increase the amount of funeral services they're having. It's just to ease the funeral services in general, because this is a practice they have to do, and it's just the body has to be transported more. And if they do increase, that's because more people are dying, which they don't really have much control over. I mean, the traffic might be a problem. I do know there are days where I avoid that area. Usually on Fridays in the afternoon, I go a different route. So that might, yes, it's a consideration, but I just don't think I don't think it's worth putting conditions. I think in the future, if there are issues, that's something that the traffic commission can then handle at that point of figuring out if there's an issue with how many funeral services are being had.
Thank you. Right.
I second that.
So
And any other? Go
So I
ahead.
agree and disagree with what you're doing, because I agree that, right now we can say you're only having 3 or 4, possibly increasing to 5, maybe 6 per week or whatever, but we need to really think down the future of what we're doing and the implications of what we do here today, what those future ramifications are. We can't just say, oh, well, we're going to push it down the road and say, hey, you know what, they can deal with this down then. All of a sudden we say 15 during the week or something like that. We don't know. We don't know. Because you may be within that area where people are now, instead of going over to Chicago or to Park or to Des Plaines, I think it was, or Downers Grove, where they were now, maybe they're coming more to you. So that would be some of my concern with that, because we can't foresee the future. You may say this is only happening now, but opening this up, what does it end up being down the road? So we can't keep pushing everything down that. We have to think of how we deal with it for now and for future purposes.
Well, that just goes with the same with the people that have funeral homes in our town,
Right.
other than theirs. I mean, they have, how many funerals do they have every day or every week?
Right.
And I mean, it doesn't interrupt us.
Right.
Not that I could see. And I've lived here for 45 years.
So, here I'd like to say also, and you mentioned this right at the outset, and we all think about it, but there will be more funerals for everyone on one side. Don't let me talk science, because maybe people stop dying at some point. But anyway, right now, we have that. That's why Sterl built a whole new funeral home. And a lot of funeral businesses are expanding because of the former generation, our parents, passing on, all right? And then after that, it'll probably go back down because our kids aren't having kids. Anyway. But, so, yeah, you can't control it, and you want to be prepared and have these facilities so you can continue to do this cleanly, one. And then in some other insights from your facility, I know your parking control is on point. You have people directing traffic. You have, everyone follows in line. So there's a traffic flow to that whole area. The location where that's orientated, you have to go find it to even see it. So you're right about saying if it's built, no one would even know it was built. It's tucked away. As you want to, it's a private, holy thing you're trying to do and separate from. It's not something that's standing out. So I think traffic control, you manage a lot of traffic already. And again, being a good neighbor, all of us, I think, have been in this neighborhood a long time. I don't know, 34 years for me. So I've seen all those changes as well. I've got to come over and hang a flag there myself. I've got someone came over and said, help hang an American flag, and we did outside the school.
Thank you.
So, but again, helping the community and reducing hardships is part of what is part of your petition.
That is correct.
So I think that's of value to the community and not a detriment. So I'm leaning towards that.
And as Mr. Mujahid pointed out, that the mosque has brought more and more people to the area, and this facility will probably bring more because of the convenience as parents age and as we age. I mean, come on, we're aging too.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately. Yes. Would you want to come to? Yeah, here, come to the mic, please. Yep. Thank you very much.
Supported your argument.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. By the same token, there are many other mosques that are around now.
Can you state your name, I guess? Yeah.
My name is Salim. My name is Salim.
Thanks, Salim.
There are many other mosques that are around. Now, if you go on Roosevelt Road, they just built a mosque just east of 355. So the pressure is just not only on this mosque in terms of the number of people that are coming there. I live actually on 75th Street in Naperville. And in that particular mosque, it was actually a church that got converted to a mosque about 5 years ago. The facility is inside the mosque itself. There's a room, and it is I have washed the bodies myself many times, and so it is a very, very simple process. instead of taking a bath, a person standing up, it is simply a person laying down, and you give them a bath, and that's about all there is to it. The only chemical that's used is soap, that we use every day for the, that purpose. So again, to sum it up, there are many other mosques that are, as a matter of fact, in Lombard and between Lombard and Villa Park, we've got 5 mosques now. Granted, they're smaller, but they are also some of them provide facilities and some don't. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got one question then, because, yeah, like you mentioned, it'll increase, you increase the services you have, it's going to increase people utilizing those services, absolutely. Hold on.
He said he couldn't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I did.
Oh, yeah, well, added service is going to increase the people using the service, right, number of people. And I do know that, yeah, there's a lot of traffic, and God bless that, for when it's time for a service, right? And because I see it, I live in the neighborhood, getting down Ardmore. I know when I should maybe go down Villa instead, if I want to go grocery shopping. But I wouldn't expect then that this ceremony or part of the funeral, so it's not that level of attendance or anything like that. It's more related to the family of the deceased and whatnot. So I think you'd be, as opposed to looking at 400 cars all arriving at once, you're looking at a handful, or unless you're really, really popular or something, I guess.
It's not a Willowbrook football game.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I mean, that's my take. I mean, yeah, if it was, we're going to start holding services where there's 400 cars 3 times a day going in and out of this facility, I could see where planning would really need to take that up and start to evaluate traffic control.
A very similar process, a very similar rite is a part of the Jewish faith as well, and is not uncommon with some larger synagogues. And
Okay. Any more discussion points? Any more? No, we're good? Okay. I'd like to request a motion. Oh, I'd like to first officially close the public hearing. Is there any other public statement? No. Okay. I'd like to make a motion. Have a motion.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of ZBA 2504 for an amendment to the special use to permit a body wash facility use on the existing property. Do I need to exhibit list on this one? Exhibit A, plat of survey, and Exhibit B, proposed plans.
I second that.
Okay. We have a second. I move to have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Clampett?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Kane?
Yes.
Commissioner Ackerman?
Yes.
Commissioner Flaskamp?
No.
Chairman Pate?
Yes. Okay. That will be submitted to the village board recommending approval. So good luck with the village board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So that is our final petition agenda item. Let me just go back to the agenda itself.
Get all this shit on you.
There's a lot. Okay. Are there any, I want to open the floor now, after closing that section, for any public comments on non-agenda items? Are there any public comments on non-agenda items? Okay?
I just like to
Yes.
get it.
Yes.
Commented earlier about the traffic being good. Here's one of the people who's up managing.
You make the traffic. Thank you.
I had to recognize.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's a non-agenda item. Great. Okay, with that, I think we're going to come to the close
I'll
of this.
motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second? Here in a second? All right. We will adjourn this first meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Thank you.
Thank you.